You are new to 1 Million Cups. This happens every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. We have local startups that come in pitch. They get 6 minutes. And then we have 20 minutes to give them feedback and ask them questions and be part of their business for the morning. And it's our job as a community to help them out and get them farther down the road than when they came in the door. Today we have Mai from Gemican. And you might know Mai because she's a regular here. She's also super involved in the community, so she's at a lot of other entrepreneur meetup groups. She and her company also sponsor donuts every week. So if you were eating a donut, that's because of Gemican and Mai. Thank you. And so we're very happy to have her here to pitch. And with that, I'm going to turn it right over to Mai, and I'll be keeping track of your 6 minutes.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay, so first of all, I just want to let you guys know that about 2 years ago, I went deaf. So when you guys ask me a question, I may have to ask you guys to repeat or like talk really loud, or else I can't hear you. And the second of all, I want to say thank you for listening. I wasn't expecting to present. I was hoping that I could start next year. But it's a really good opportunity, and I want to appreciate that you guys are going to listen and really give me that feedback because, you know, it's been a while since I present. And this is going to really help me for next year, prepare me to get funding. We've been preparing for a while to get funding now, and we've just been waiting for the equity crowdfunding that just passed in Minnesota. But the good news is that, you know, you guys all know that the U.S. has, you know, passed a law, the JOB Act, like about 3 years ago, and it's just been sitting in with the SEC for the last 3 years. And October 30, they finally say we could use it. We could use it now. So it's really exciting, and so I'm happy that I get this opportunity to present it to you guys. It helped me, so I could really go out there and, you know, working on that funding that we're waiting for. So again, my name is Mai, and our company is Gemican. We started this about 3 years ago, and this company come to play because I'm a community person. I'm about helping people. So my husband, he's an IT, and I'm a sales and finance. But whenever I see my friends, you know, they're small business and they don't have money, I always volunteer his time to, you know, build like system for them. Like I'll say, hey, you know, you don't have money, you just started. My husband could like build your free website. Or, you know, like they need database, maintain, I offer my friends like, well, you know, I'll talk to Chai, he would do it, and he built them a system to keep track. But by the time I know, we have over 20 friends that, you know, they have database. And building is one thing, but maintaining is another. So now you have all these people calling you, and you provide free service, right? So he worked full-time job, and he had to do this for, like, helping them, and it was really complicated. And then we're like, you know what, maybe we could make into, like, a full-time thing and provide into a one system so everyone could use, you know, because, like, when they start up, they just need the basic. So we could provide free service and helping everybody, so we don't have to maintain your system differently. Maintain your system, that's complicated. So that's the reason why we started this company about 3 years ago. So Gemican, our vision for our company is to build all the needing application into one platform. Because, you know, like if it's too expensive. So like when a startup company, or a small company, they're trying to save costs. So they will go like multiple platform, like vendor to get free application. So now you have to learn all those, and they don't integrate. So our vision is to get all those into one platform, and then, you know, the small business could really just like work on each one of those in one place, so they don't, and all their application integrate with each other. So that's our vision for our company. So right now, we see that, you know, financial application is important, CRM is important, and then operation is important. So our application right now is financial, CRM, cloud storage, and time tracking, travel, so you could keep track of your mileage, and then contact. And then we also learned that, marketing is important, so we add website onto our solution as well. So for the financial application, we try to make it simple, so like small company could use it. But as they grow, we could customize. So all application could be customized to meet the growing of a company. And then we have CRM. In our CRM, you keep track of your clients, your application, like your product. And then our CRM also interact with contact applications. So let's say that someone is your contact, and eventually they become your clients. You could just convert over, so you don't have to enter the new stuff in. And they're all like related to your clients. Also integrate with your financial application. So all those data, so you don't have to like duplicate everything. So for CRM right now, you could put the supplier in, the contact in, and then you could do reporting. And as you guys know, doesn't matter how much data you have, but if you can't put out the report to analyze it, you can't grow. So reporting tool is really important. Do you guys have any question so far in our application? That's pretty much in our application right now. Okay, you come up here, because I'm like, sorry.
Business model? Is this like a SaaS? Is it web-based where people subscribe to it, or are you selling the actual tool to people?
Oh, okay, how do we sell it to people? Okay, so our application is free. What we're doing is that because we know that a lot of small business or, startup, they don't have money, so we offer applications free. And then we give out 15 gig for free storage. So when people excel that, then they could upgrade. And that's how we make our money from when they upgrade. And basic upgrade is 59. So it's like a really 59 per month. And then also when they need advanced tool. So we our model based that about 80% of our user won't upgrade. They just mom and pop, so they won't upgrade. And then we'll have the other upgrade. And then, so we make our money from subscription when they upgrade. We make our money from advertise. So when you when you log into our system, you don't you see ad on the side, but when you go into the application itself, there's no more advertising there. But that's how we make our sponsor help us pay for the site. And then also what we make our money is on building the website and maintaining basis. So our website is really reasonable. We charge about $495 for the basic site, and they could go up to $20,000, depending on how complicated your site you want to build. And we build in WordPress, and then we maintain $20 a month. And then we have another one at $49, and then a $79. Right now we have about 100 customers. The pay customer.
I also have a microphone here, so if you wouldn't mind using it so everybody can hear your question.
Are your customers local in nature, or are
Yeah,
they...
right now our customer is local. Yeah, and we started this company about 3 years ago, and a lot of things have happened. So we haven't branched outside local yet. So I was saying earlier, we start waiting for funding to come through. But more importantly, when we start a company, we have about 4 partners, and then one of partner got really sick, and he passed away. And then I brought a lot of co-founder in, hoping that we could grow the company, but things don't happen the way it is. And then I went deaf, so we still local.
Wow. All right, so
yeah.
life interview.
But we like to go. We like to go national eventually, but yeah, no, it's all local.
Okay, so the question then is, how are you going to go national? Because and what are your plans to market it nationally, and then to build out the support capability? Because you're giving out the website for free, and what they're paying for is going to be the extra storage and the support, I imagine.
Oh, so
and
the
then
thing
the
is,
website building.
Well, since we give it for free, we don't provide support. I know that's so what we want to do is that we want to spend our time to teach you to use the application. So we do video teaching in there, so you could use our application. we dumped out our app. But then when you start being a paid customer, then we provide support. And all support is just like LinkedIn. How do you get your support? You send in an email, then respond, So like you said, I know it's complicated. And we also learn over time. It's not easy, like people say. You thought that you build your application and people just rush in and use it, right? But that's not how it works for a business. So we start learning how to market it out to the mass. And if we start learning, so.
So for your websites, you said that you mostly operate off of WordPress. Do you integrate a lot of the WooCommerce tools? What type of platforms and what type of websites do you actually create?
What type of, I'm sorry.
Do you create the e-commerce platform websites for free? What are some of the different?
Oh, no. So for our website that we create for customer, we use WordPress. And we could do information to, like e-commerce and data-driven.
And you build those websites for free?
No, we charge them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But our application is free. So our system, yeah.
Mai, could you explain a little bit more why you're waiting for crowdfunding instead of going over towards more traditional forms of investment?
Sorry, I can't hear that well. I'm sorry.
Will you explain why you're waiting for crowdfunding instead of going after more traditional forms of investment?
Oh, yes. He asked the question. The reason we're waiting for crowdfunding because, we learned that it's hard to build a business. So, when you go into like angel investor, and when you're really young, they want a huge chunk of your company. So they give you 10,000, and they want 1% of your company. They give you 100,000 and they want 10% of the company. And the 100,000 can't really do much for your company. I mean, it costs a lot to build a company. So, and our application is not one application. It's easy if you have one application, you could build that in 6 months because you only have one. But our application, we want to do all application in one platform, integrate. So it takes a lot of money than just 100,000. So when you go, the reason we use equity crowdfunding because if you only give $100 or $200, you don't expect much. You want the company to do well, so someday you'll make it big, but it's not like you want to micromanage someone's money. So that's the reason we go. So we could use like 2% of our company to raise 100,000. And versus like you go 200,000 and get 10% away, and you haven't done anything yet, and you run out of money. So that's the reason why we're waiting for equity crowdfunding.
Yeah, just a little bit of pushback on the equity crowdfunding, and you mentioned that people's expectations won't be much, and from my I can't necessarily say from my personal experience, but for me, I don't think that would be the case. When somebody gives you $200 and let's say you have 10,000 of these people. You're going to get calls left and right because you have 10,000 people. And these 10,000 are going to distract you far more than, let's say, any one single angel investor would.
Well, that's true. I mean, we have, right now, we have 80 people that have given money to our company. So we have spent about 250 that from 80 people that's less than, 0.5% of our company. If they don't call us left and right. So what I'm saying is that people give you 200. Usually when people give you money at an early stage like this, and they give you a small money, they first of all, they like your vision. Second of all, they like what you're doing. So they're helping you, And then the second thing is that they hope someday it'll go big. But, they won't call you every day. I don't think the majority won't call you every day for 200. I mean, that's just from what I learned. Yeah.
So there's a whole long conversation we could have about funding your company, starting with how much money do you think you need, what you plan to use it for, and then there are many ways to raise your money. So the crowdsourcing is one method. You could do convertible debt. And I think a lot of times if you partner with a single large investor who understands your vision, that could probably be the best way to get a large chunk of money and not have somebody knocking on your door and calling you every day, asking you when they're going to get paid back or when they're going to get their 8x or 10x. So not sure how you settled on equity crowdsourcing, but I would examine your motivations there. And also be clear about how much money you need and what you plan to use it for.
Yeah.
If you could share that with us, that would be right now. That
Oh
would be
yeah,
great.
right. Well, we need about $1 million, and the reason for that is because we feel like we cannot sell application the way it is, until right now we could have everybody use it, but we cannot mass sell until we finish our phase 2. And, so that's the reason. So we're going to be using at least 300,000 of that to, finalize our phase 2 of our application. And then, the other 700,000 is pretty much for selling and marketing our application. So if we don't have that amount, then we have people that come offer us 50,000, 100,000, but we can't really take the money if we can't really move to the next phase. I mean, like you say, I don't want people to knock on my door. It's like, why your company not moving? Well, because we didn't have all the funding, so yeah.
I guess the question would be then, what are you setting the valuation of the company at right now?
And that's the other things why we use crowdfunding is because, to us, we feel that our company worth a whole lot, 100 million or more. To you, you think our company hasn't worked anything yet. So, for now, the way that people give us money so far now, our company worth about 100 mil. But, for you as an angel investor, if you come in, you say, well, your company, you haven't made much revenue, so you have 100 customers. So each year you make about 60,000. So I don't want to put that much money into you. I think your company, so you won't give us that kind of money for, So yes, you might just think our company worth less than 200,000.
So I think for funding, there's a wide range of investors, right? There's the total dream world out here on 100 million valuation or something that may be outlandish.
Yeah.
And then as it gets more real and your business model starts to grab some hold, you'll start getting more investing down here, right?
Yeah.
I do think there's some value in the crowdfunding method, especially on an early adopter basis. If somebody can jump in very early, as we see with different other technologies and exposures, there's a lot to be gained from that. In your $1 million raise, you're looking at 5,000 people coming in on crowdfunding, 200 apiece. I think even on an early adopter kind of status for those people, I think that's probably, in my mind, unrealistic, that 5,000 will come in right away on any particular thing. I think there will be a lot of money available early on in that mode, but I think it might be a tough sledding to. So if you make an assumption on how many people will come in, right, you have to make some sort of assumption on how many people will come in with their $200. And if you set the total number of people coming in unrealistically high for a raise, you probably won't get there. So if you're putting all your eggs in one basket of crowdfunding, that's a real risk there. If you say, oh, I need 500 people, yeah, realistic. If I need 5,000, well, getting tougher. If I need 20,000 or something to really fund my business, I think it's very difficult to get there.
Yeah, well, right now we already have about 300,000 secure. And the other thing is that the other reason why we kind of stick with crowdfunding is who you know. See, when you do business, it's who you know as well. So what we learned is that a lot of our people that believe in us, that we will make a difference. Their network doesn't meet the credible investor either. They're making my friends, they're attorney, and they only make 120,000 a year. So they don't really qualify to invest in us right now too. So so I see what you're saying as well. So there's a few reasons why we kind of wait for crowdfunding besides just getting more people to invest. Last headache to us, we think is last headache, and also we could give more for our share through crowdfunding. Then also also the people that we know that could invest as well, because right now they don't qualify to invest.
Hey, Lee, I know that Wisconsin has started up Wisconsin has started up a crowdfunding. I know there's that one brewery outfit or whatever that started a crowdfunding scheme on that for resident to Wisconsin. And I think what you're looking on early adopting of that is going to be a Minnesota-based, right? Because the feds aren't moving very quickly on that whole process. So that's a very small group of people initially. But do you know anything about Wisconsin as far as funds raised by any particular entity or anything?
Well,
I don't.
right now,
But-
the SEC just passed, so the nation, you could do crowdfunding throughout the nation now too.
And it,
October 30th,
Wait.
they just passed.
we're also, so Maya and I are working on, we do a series of funder schools. We did a bunch earlier this year. Bob, who's in the corner here, he's going to do one next week on valuation of companies.
Yeah.
But then Maya and I are working on one all around crowdfunding. So Maya works with one of the lawyers who helped write the legislation on crowdfunding. So we're going to bring him in, some other people to help kind of have more of this discussion, because I think it's a confusing thing. There's a lot of unknowns. We don't really know how it's going to roll out in the state of Minnesota yet exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unanswerable questions and unanswered questions. So, but we hope to, through a discussion later on, kind of get at some of those. Is there any non-funding questions or comments? I know I totally opened up that discussion by asking, and it's a really good one to have, because I think it's really interesting, and everyone's provided some really great feedback. But does anyone have some non-funding feedback or comments?
You mentioned you're trying to get funding to advance to phase 2. What does phase 2 entail for Gemican?
So for phase 2, like our site is like I was saying, that we want everything in one platform. So our phase 2 is adding the marketing piece. So, for a small business, we felt that they need to track their business. They need to, so they could read it and grow the business. But more importantly is the selling tool, the marketing tool. So our phase 2 is adding the marketing tool in there, and that's like the major integration to our system. So, how many people in here is small business? Okay, so what's more important to you? Like sales and marketing, right? I mean, sometimes we forgot to track our mileage. How many of you guys track your mileage that you come here? You? So majority of you guys, but you will go to a place that where can you sell? Where can you tell people about your market? But then, just think about it. Now there's so many social media that you have to go promote. I don't know about you, but, I could spend all day just, jumping from LinkedIn to Facebook to Twitter. That is like a full-time job, So how do you run your business if you have so many places to be, So our phase 2 is the marketing tool.
And we have time for one last question. Anybody have a question or some feedback?
Oh, now I'm blanking. Who are your competitors in this space? Because I can think of a few.
Gosh, we have
or
so many.
alternatives that your customers may have. Yeah.
We have a lot. We have the individual that we're competing with, like individual application like Salesforce, QuickBook. We have big application like Google, IBM. So we have a huge competition, I would say,
Why do you beat them? Why do you win?
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Why will you win?
I'm sorry.
How do you beat your competitors?
See, that's the million-dollar question. Because, see, the thing is that when we first built this company, we built out of passion. So we just want to help people. We just want to help small business grow and create jobs. One thing about me is passionate about creating jobs. So we built this business based on that. But then we learned that not everybody, even though you offer free for people, they don't use it. See? So, and then, become complicated for them, and they were just given to the accounting to do the stuff. So it's really hard because, And if you guys could help me, that would be nice because I've been trying to answer this question. You know, like, okay, you give it to small business for free. If all of them were to use it and they just pay the minimum, then our company would be great because, you know, like now, like our competitor, like IBM, they pay a license fee. So to get the whole system like what we have, you pay the license fee, like hundreds of $1,000s, and then you pay per user as well, and that costs a lot of money. So that eliminate a lot of like small business, eliminate all small business to use the system because you know you pay so much for your application. So we're thinking that okay, if we build our software, you know, and just make it like you know really free or really like low price, then if everybody use it and everybody just pay for a small cost of it, then we could help maintain for everyone. But that's not how it works, you know. So you know, it takes a long time to get a business to use you, and the acquire customer costs more than we expected. And that's the reason why we haven't got funding for 3 years, and I didn't really care because it's gonna be like so much pain because I haven't figured it out how I could acquire my customer for less money. Yeah. Anybody could help me to find out how I could acquire my customer for less money?
I think that's a good place to end because we always ask the question of what can this community do for you, and so I think you just answered
Yeah.
that customer acquisition.
Yeah, I guess so.
For low cost, right?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Mai.